So one of the things that you do when you're trying to solve a problem is you try to solve it in a logical way. And people use the term logic all the time, but many times they don't really understand what it means. So Socrates was the father of this whole view of the world in which he used what's called dialectics. And dialectics is a way of posing two different sides of an argument and then trying to reach a conclusion about what the truth is. And so I myself grew up, in an environment where, this sort of use of logic was absolutely essential to being able to, have a successful discussion about anything. And that's really the important thing to understand is that it's not something wrought with emotion. It's not something in which you really have to be invested, although that seems to happen and be the case. That's a different thing. So Socrates faced these people called sophists, and they were philosophers who were professional teachers that would go around teaching people rhetoric and all kinds of different things. And they were much less concerned with coming to the truth of a matter, and were more concerned with persuading people. So what we see many times in mistake for actual logic is sophistry. When you see the presidential debate, you're not seeing an actual dialectic, you're seeing sophistry, which is we're trying to persuade. They're not using logic, they're not using evidence, it's not a discussion. And I've talked about this before in previous videos, where the purpose of anything is a discussion, not this sort of food fight that ends up being the case. And in fact, lawyers are in large part sophists because they take weak positions. They're hired guns, basically, or mouths to be paid for. And that's one of the issues that you see in modern thought, is that people don't know the difference between a dialectics and Socrates' line of thinking and the sophists, or what's called sophistry.